Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, we are going to be testing out Little Miss Annie. We're actually going to quickly go through a clip. Also, I just noticed that I've got a little puppy. I have to put the strings from my hoodie, tuck him away. Otherwise, it's just too tempting for her to eat my clothes. Right? All the struggles of a puppy. Stuff's going well enough with the puppy. By the way, I'll talk about Little Miss Annie in a second. I'm sorry, this is more interesting, really. Um, but with the puppy, quick update, guys. She does have probably an ectopic ureter. If you're wondering what that is, basically it means that your ureters, I think, connect your kidneys to your bladder. So they fill your bladder up with pee, and then when you want to go pee, you pee and it comes out of your bladder and it comes out. We think, or the vet suspects, that one of her ureters is actually connecting to the urethra directly. So instead of going into the bladder and then it's stored up and let out, it just basically goes straight out instead. We think is what's happening. Um, but anyway, let's look at Little Miss Annie. Here's a cool thing. One of her passives, we revive her, and then she actually gets to use her A1 on the champion that killed her. So right there, we would have been kind of in trouble, right? Here she's going to come in with her A2. Look at this. Um, so she actually got a kill for free. We would have been in trouble because how do we cook Handrifon? And bam, look at that damage against Duchess. That's with her A2. You're going to get to see her A3 in a second as well. I think I made a mistake here in this fight, but we'll still get to see at least Annie smack hard. But anyway, look, that's the story with the puppy. We're going to be bringing her to like our local vet isn't, he just doesn't have the toolkit to be able to deal with that sort of thing. So we're going to be bringing her we're going to be bringing her to a more specialist vet up in Dublin. And they're going to be able to sort her out, hopefully do some imaging, find out if that is what's actually wrong with her, and if so, to fix her up. Here comes the A3 from Little Miss Annie. Let's see how hard this hits. It's a double hitter. One hit did 169,000 damage. The other hit didn't even get to happen, which is kind of insane. What is happening with this champion, though? Little Miss Annie, as a single target damage dealer, kind of an absolute monster. And we want to test her out today and see what we can do with her. So let's look at this champion, how I have her built, what is going on. Unfortunately, I don't have any blessings for her at all. If I was to give her a blessing, probably Lightning Cage, maybe Soul Reap. I think the nice thing about Lightning Cage, it does give her a little bit of extra damage. Obviously, the attack and crit damage is pretty big. And it will protect some of her buffs. So she, for example, one interesting thing we saw it right there, when she's revived, she attacks the enemy that killed her with her default skill, gives her some turn meter, and gives her a shield. Pretty big shield. So I think maybe protecting that shield, she can give herself increased attack, which was one of the things that attracted me to her as a nuker for live arena. Provides her own increased attack and has the potential to kill people no matter what. So that could be kind of nice. Soul Reap just gives her more chance to kill. I don't know. I think it's a little bit up for debate, I think, in terms of what is the absolute best blessing for her. She has another passive here where she can decrease turn meter and can also destroy max HP if they're under heal reduction, and heals her if they're under heal reduction. This one is pretty weak, honestly. Her A1 is fairly weak as well. It is a triple hitter, though, which is nice. And it can put out heal reductions. This is okay, but it's nothing special. We saw her A2. Now, this is a double hitter. It gives her increased attack before attacking if the enemy is under a shield buff, and then ignores 25% of their defense if they're under a shield buff. Gives her perfect fail for 2 turns if it kills an enemy. So again, we've got buffs here to protect with Lightning Cage, and gives her 30% turn meter if she does not kill the target. This has a 2-turn cooldown, right? And she's got a 4-turn here. So this is what I'm thinking for live arena, maybe even leading out with this kind of first, right? You get this 2-turn, then you fire off this, and then you're straight back into Hollow Doll again. You kind of bounce between the two abilities. One, go with this, and then this is already good to go again for maximum nukage. Playdate is her big nuke, ignoring 25% of their defense if they have more defense than her, and destroying max HP if they have higher HP than her. This is kind of nice that even if they revive the target that you kill, their HP is still going to be destroyed by a good chunk, so it makes it easier to kill them a second time. The reason this is so powerful, it does the attack a second time if the target has both higher defense and higher max HP than this champion, which is nearly every single champion in the game. So yeah, it hits twice, it does ridiculous damage, and that is Annie's toolkit. How have we built her out? We have her in lethal. Lethal or savage is the way to go, getting more of that defense ignore, which is so strong when you're getting ignore defense there, ignore defense against shield targets here. And you're really looking for champions that put out shields. Mithrala, Ultimate Death Knight, puts out a shield if he uses his A3 and they're not thinking, right? Duchess Lilitu with her A1 puts out a shield and it makes her a really good target for Annie. All of these champions, anyone in a bolster set has a shield, you can kill them. We're going to try it against Necret here today. We're going to see how that works. So all of this ignore defense, I think stacking it up is the way to go. Ivor built up with 6.7k attack, 185 speed, and about 270% crit damage. 100% crit rate is what to aim for. Pretty straightforward. We don't really care about health or defense. She's just going to die at a stiff breeze. That's okay. We just want her to hit as hard as possible. More speed maybe is better. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll tell you where I think she is good, and you'll see how it sort of makes sense, I think. For her masteries, I've gone like this. So more damage against targets under shield. She does not ignore the shield. She just hits them really hard. So we want to just make sure that we kill them. More damage on her first hit. More damage to targets that are crowd controlled. I kind of figured why not. You could maybe actually just get her cycle of violence instead. That might be the better option. I'll be honest. That might be the way to go to get back to her A3 a bit faster, because she's basically always going to have the chance to trigger this. It's sort of up to you. Obviously kill streak, and then obviously helm smasher. And then we're going to go defense tree for some of those counterattacks. And I think deterrence is kind of nice with the polymorphs going around and all of this. You know, I feel like that's kind of going to be a useful thing for her to bring in and could help you out. So that is Little Miss Annie. Let me show you the only other really area where I've used her. The reason I have Little Miss Annie, even with, and I did improve her gear, but the reason I had her built out and sort of geared in the first place, I do use her for Sand Devil farming on the lower stages. Why? Because her playdate, that hit, is just one of the strongest hits in the game. So we sleep the enemy, we put decreased defense and weaken. Now Turvold, he has 3 buffs, so he's not hitting his maximum strength, but about 200k per hit. Little Miss Annie, kaboom! And guys, you know how hard Turvold hits. Now, her damage isn't fully coming through because the boss simply did not have enough health. Let's see it on the, I think stage 11 is almost the same, isn't it? Yeah, same affinity. Let's go in again. I think this should work. I'm not 100% sure if I have enough accuracy on Draco. We'll find out. Draco might get resisted. We're not going to do as much damage because we don't have the leech, so that's a little bit more damage reduction from the boss. Yeah, you can see without that. But bam, Little Miss Annie doing some serious work there, some serious damage. Turvold comes in again, wakes up the boss. We've hit the boss again. Annie's going to come in with Hollow Doll. Boom, boom. And there we go. Took him down about 21 seconds here. You're going to need, obviously, good gear to pull this off. Little Miss Annie doing more than Turvold in that situation. So single target. She really does smack. The long cooldown, though, will it be enough? That's the question. Let's do some arena. I can't do live arena because it's over. We have some really tough fights here. Some very, very tough ones. The first thing that I wanted to test out, and let me show you the team that I've put together with Little Miss Annie. In fact, let me jump to a different fight first, and we can do a bit of testing after. Okay, perfect. This is the sort of fight that I was thinking that we could test out. Basically, what we've got here is I think the 2 best tanky revivers, a Necret protecting and a Candrafon. Sort of the problem here is Candrafon's going to veil himself up, so Annie's not going to be able to target him super directly, but I think this is a big challenge. I think the #1 place to run her is actually going to be when they only have 1 reviver in live arena, and she can just kill that reviver, and you're running a really tanky team as well. Let's dive into this fight and let's see. Why am I saying this? What do I think is going on here? So with Annie, what she does not have is what Rotus has. Rotus eventually scales up, gets block revive. Rotus has a bunch of extra turns. There's plenty of champions that have, the good single target champions have extra turn mechanics. Annie doesn't have that. So actually coming in and securing a kill is going to be very difficult. All right, cool. So we've locked them out. Let's actually go in with her A2. Let's see how hard she hits this Duchess. That's a tanky Duchess. Increased defense, a shield. Can she kill her with the A2? Increased attack. She's gone in. Didn't get it this time. Got close. She's died now. Here we go. Interesting. So this Duchess is much tankier. We'll revive her. She actually comes back with increased attack. She's gone in. With his protection, not so much. So a bit weaker here. We didn't have enough to kill that Duchess, but we'll try again. We will try again. We're just going to A1. Does loads of healing to Annie. So this is going to be a problem. Or so we can come back into it. We could maybe even go to her A2 again, I think, potentially. We'll find out. We'll put a shield on ourselves. Why not? We could go in an A2 again. Or we could just secure the kill. I think this time, let's just try secure the kill. Playdate, boom. 50k for... and look at this, we've actually destroyed some HP there this time as well. So we've done good damage to this Duchess. She has survived, but we can now pick off that Duchess again next turn. And that to me is... Oh, excellent. It's sort of the purpose of this champion. Let's put this on, put increased speed on again, is when the enemy is a bit limited on their reviver. So let's come in on this Duchess. Here we go. Bang. Wow, that time, without the increased defense, and Helm Smasher must have procced, we did way more damage. And we actually basically secure the kill. Actually, maybe... Oh, no. Unfortunately, Sifi's shield is going to fall off here, which is a bummer. I don't know. Let's hit Canderfon. I don't think it really matters. We can try get decreased attack on Canderfon. Try keep it safe. Wasn't paying attention. I think if you click info... No, never mind. Oh, yeah, you can. If you click info, here's a good tip. You can see who has polymorph on them. So that's a nice little tip if you... if you're struggling there. We'll hit Canderfon. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, here we go. Let's see how much your A1 does. Actually, you know what? Let's hit Canderfon. We might as well kill Candy. We actually kill him with one hit of the triple hitter. She will probably get around to a revive. So this is sort of slow and steady. But the idea is we have a very tanky team. I think Ultimate Death Knight Pythion is the perfect sort of combo to put with this champion, right? Here we go. She is going to get the revive off. That's okay. Start working on Duchess again. And at this point, I think we killed Duchess again. Bang. 41k, which is one of the hits. Let's try provoke him. There we go. Excellent. I think he does have... No, he doesn't have polymorph, so we don't even have to worry about being sheeped or anything like that. We can keep beating him up a little bit. Once Annie comes back, here's the thing. Once Annie comes back to her next turn, I don't think it matters the protection that this Sifi has. Bam. 134k. And she is dead. We click full auto and we go. So our team is very hard to kill. Very difficult to kill our team. He did have 2 tanky revivers. He did have a Necrat. What Annie is letting us do is that no matter how tanky they are, she can still basically kill them. So if they are a team that's going to struggle to kill us, and like I said, especially if they only have 1 reviver, she just wipes them out, kills them, and then you're good to go. And that utility of giving herself increased attack means that even if we don't have increased attack on the team, she can still get it and make it work. Let's do maybe one more difficult fight here. I think there's another one that was very difficult. I think this is another good example. You know what? This is actually a great example. Look at this. Super nasty. Oh, my Lord. Look at this. Okay, let's go in. Let's see if she can do it here. I'm curious to see how she will do against Rotos as well. And this time we're up against Ultimate Death Knight. So some of our hits are going to be redirected, but at least some of Annie's hits are going to go through as well. I'm curious to see how it is going to work and if it is going to work. They have Bolster, so this is perfect. So I think we get increased attack on us first. I'm just curious how hard this will actually hit. It'll also give her turn meter. Here we go. So 1 hit goes into Ultimate Death Knight. The second hit went through, did 50k to him, which is not bad. And she has increased attack on now. We can buy ourselves quite a lot of time. I think we should be able to, hopefully, kill this Duchess. Remember, one of our hits is going to go into Ultimate Death Knight. Let's see if only 1 hit of this going through. I hope it works. Boom, it did. Oh, it worked. She did survive, though. Duchess lived. We did 75k. Wasn't quite enough to kill her. We might as well go for the smack, right? Yeah, it's just A1 here. Oh, I'm an idiot. Of course, it goes into Ultimate Death Knight. That's a bummer. So Duchess will survive. But you can see we have destroyed her HP a good chunk, so that's quite nice. It's going to make it easier to kill her in future. Annie can come back in with her A2 next turn. Ultimate Death Knight still tanking it like a champ. I guess we'll just hit Duchess because we can. We'll buff up here. All right, Annie, she's coming in again. 1 hit goes into Ultimate Death Knight. The other hit goes through. Ah, didn't get the kill. That's unfortunate. So it does seem like Helm Smasher is kind of important. Let's put the shield on now for sure. That can deny some of the Rotos HP stealing. So yeah, that's a bummer. Now, the good news is that now Ultimate Death Knight is vulnerable. So yeah, things are going to get pretty good for us now at this point. So let's see. We're going to get 2 hits through onto Duchess this time. Let's see how we do. So 1 hit to Ultimate Death Knight, 2 hits onto Duchess. Not quite enough. This Duchess is just barely surviving every single time. You're ruining my showcase, Duchess. Why are you like this? It's tragic, but hey, it is what it is. I'm actually going to put the block debuffs up just for that extra buff in case Ultimate Death Knight goes here and the Rotos cuts in or whatever. I mean, we might as well do the AoE to get at least some damage across. Here we go. We'll buff up again. And we're preparing for the big nukes. So I think first of all, we kill the Duchess. Let's see how hard this hits Ultimate Death Knight. Pretty hard. Did a good chunk to him. Cool. I'm very, very curious when we come around to Playdate how much damage that's going to do. Okay, so Duchess comes back. No real surprise right there. Annie's next turn should be pretty big. I think we just killed Duchess here, right? Boom. Killed two of them. Two of them with one hit. That's pretty juicy. I think we start working down the Rotos. I think that's going to be pretty good now at this point. Beta Destruction. Ooh, that's starting to hit hard. We're getting to the point where we've taken our sweet time killing these guys. We could end up in a little bit of trouble if we are not careful. Let's just get some more healing onto our good friend right here. What we could do, we could use Annie. What move does she have? Oh, no. I'm going to go in with her A2 here, I think. It's just a double hitter. Let's go in. Boom, boom. He's low, but he's going to heal up. Can we take him down, or is he going to get the res? He might. He might get the res, unfortunately. We can, again, heal him up some more. Rotus, he's stolen more health. It's getting dangerous. We need Annie to kill. Okay, good. I think we're good. Actually, maybe we're not good. Annie, what sort of damage do you have? Decent. But I think he has the res next turn. We're going to risk it. We're going for the kill. Pythion, take him out. Good job, Pythion. The ultimate killer. Death Knight tanks it. Excellent. All right. Let's try Annie's. We could try her A2. Let's see her A3 against Erotus here. 1, 2, 3. Good damage. Did not actually proc. That's really interesting. I didn't expect that. Didn't proc his passive, right? That was just a normal counterattack. I guess because it was 3 hits and it didn't actually hit that hard. Yeah, it didn't proc his passive. Cool. Cool, yeah. Let's see how hard she would hit him with a single hit. Only 34k. I guess he can only take half of his health in one go. But there you go. Again, I think that right there is an incredibly nasty team. 400,000 player power. I think if you ran into that team in live arena, you would be very, very, very worried. Obviously, we've run a very good team as well. And, you know, once you get up into gold live arena, I mean, you can't have Python and Ultimate Death Knight on both teams. But still, what I want to show you there, Little Miss Annie with 518,000 damage. I honestly think she is not a bad option, right? Not a bad option at all. Yeah, I think she's pretty solid there. What she's going to struggle against is teams with like lots of AoE, where they can just keep killing her. You're going to need revivers to pick her back up, and then her passive's going to do some work, actually, right, with this revive. But I do think for live arena, she fits the meta pretty well, where people are coming in, and they're using like double revivers, and she can actually kill them very consistently. People might not have all that much damage because you can ban their second damage dealer. So you can maybe keep Lil Miss Annie alive. And in these slower fights, these tougher fights, I think she can really get quite a lot done. So yeah, I think this champion, she's having a bit of a time to shine. This is sort of her comeback story for Lil Miss Annie. By the way, 33% attack aura in all battles is pretty good. But yeah, let me know. What do you think about this champion? Were you impressed? Let me show you this, actually, if you want to see like some of the actual figures here. Okay, if we come down, Lil Miss Annie, in terms of her damage, right? In terms of her damage, her A1, right, is going to do about 17,800. You know, it's not bad. It's doing as much as Tatora's AoE. Any other champions in there you might know. Let's say Ninja, right? His AoE does about the same damage as her. Herndig, his A2, similar damage. All of Herndig's attacks actually doing similar damage to Lil Miss Annie. Foley's A3. Now it will double hit somebody. That gives you an idea for her A1. So like it's okay, but it's nothing special. It is 3 hits though. For A2, starting to hit extremely hard now. 37,000 damage. That is up there along the lines with Mishal's big hit. Brachus's big hit. Look at this. Rotus A3 doing about 40,000, right? Lil Miss Annie is doing very similar to that. This is including the shield qualifier. I'm almost certain. So this is treating it with that bonus ignore defense from them having a shield. So if they don't have a shield, it's not going to do as much damage, right? But she's hitting really, really hard here. Yeah, very similar to Krutrax's A1, actually. Very similar to that. Cupidus, I'm blocking these, but very similar to Krutraxa A1, Cupidus A3. That's how hard she's hitting with Hollow Doll. Look at this. Baron Skypiercer does about 40,000 damage. Lil Miss Annie, to a single target doing that, roughly. What about Playdate? 85,000. That's over double the damage of a Baron Skypiercer, okay? That is up there with Mortu McCab's Peril. Inquisitor Shamael actually does even more with Cow the Horrors if he has, 4 buffs on. Royal Huntsman's up there. Errol actually is up there. Jintoro with Oni's Rage 5 hit. That's never going to happen in Arena, so you can ignore that one. But like Errol, Inquisitor, we've got some big single target damage, but Annie's coming in hard here. Like your Carl actually hits really hard too. He needs freeze for that to happen right there. Qualifiers to this. But yeah, pretty spicy stuff when you look at it. She's doing a lot of damage. Look at this fall off. Again, I think the key thing here is, if you look at Candrafon's A1, doing 43k. Hefrak does 43k with the double hit and his ignore defense. Annie hits really, really hard. And I hope that we gave it a good showcase. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed me showing some good things about an unloved champion right here. Just imagine how much, like, we would have destroyed those teams. If she had a blessing, an extra 500 attack or 400 attack, whatever it is, imagine how hard we would have smashed those teams. I haven't even fully ascended her gloves. She's going to get an extra 10% crit damage. Pretty cool. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.